The emergency alert comes through at 11:47 p.m. The robotic voice breaks the silence, cutting through the faint hum of my fridge. This is an emergency alert. Please remain indoors. Do not open your doors between 12 a.m. and sunrise. Ignore anyone knocking. This is not a test. The message repeats. Then silence. I set my phone down. The alert still lingers on the screen in harsh red. Ignore anyone knocking. What kind of warning is that? I check the news. Nothing. No context, no explanation, just the same message flooding social media. A few people joke about it. Sounds like a horror movie setup. Government being cryptic as usual. Others aren't laughing. My apartment is on the 3rd floor. The window gives me a clear view of the street. It's usually buzzing with life, cars, late-night dog walkers, the flicker of neon from the bar across the way. But tonight, nothing. The street lights cast empty pools of yellow onto vacant sidewalks. No headlights in the distance. No movement. My stomach tightens. I pull up the group chat. It's just me, Ethan, Rachel, and David, 3 other tenants in the building. David: LMAO, this is stupid. Rachel: weird timing. My mom called earlier and told me to stay inside tonight. Ethan: lock your doors. Just trust me. Ethan: always the paranoid one. The guy who stocks up on bottled water and canned food every time the news so much as hints at a crisis. I roll my eyes and type a response. Me: what do you think is happening? 3 dots appear, then disappear. He's typing, then stopping, like he's unsure what to say. Another message from David pops up first. David: if this was serious, we'd hear sirens or something. Not just a vague-ass alert. I almost agree. But the silence outside feels wrong. Forced. Like the whole city is holding its breath. I double-check the locks. Deadbolts secure. Chains in place. The peephole shows nothing but an empty hallway. 11:58 p.m. A feeling settles in my chest. Anticipation. Like the moment before thunder cracks. I grab a kitchen knife. It's stupid, I know. But my hands need something to hold on to. Then it happens. Knock. Knock. My spine locks. It's not loud. Just firm. Deliberate. I don't move. Knock. Knock. Go away. A text from Ethan vibrates my phone. Ethan: don't open it. My breathing is too loud in the quiet. My skin prickles. Then, hey, it's me. David's voice. Right outside my door. A slow, sinking feeling spreads through me. I check my phone. David: bro, who's knocking? My fingers shake as I type. Me: you're outside my door. 3 dots. Then, David: no, I'm not. My stomach drops. I step back from the door, gripping the knife tighter. Outside, his voice comes again, lighter this time. Casual. Come on, man. Just open up. I need to talk to you. My pulse pounds in my ears. My eyes flick to the peephole. I shouldn't look. I look. The hallway is empty. But the knocking continues. I step away. Ignore it. Don't respond. Don't open the door. Another text from Ethan. Ethan: it's not him. I sit on the floor, back against the couch, gripping the knife in both hands. The knocking goes on. Steady. Rhythmic. Not impatient. Just waiting. At some point, it stops. I don't sleep. And I know with complete certainty. It will come again tomorrow. I don't sleep. Even after the knocking stops, I stay on the floor, knife in my grip, my back pressed against the couch. My heart is still hammering, a steady pulse in my ears. Every small noise, the groan of the pipes, the distant hum of the fridge, sends a jolt through my system. My body refuses to relax. I don't check the time. I don't need to. The dark shape of the window tells me it's still night. I force slow, steady breaths. In. Out. Nothing happened. The emergency alert told me not to open the door. I didn't. Simple. So why do I feel like I barely survived something? Eventually, a dim, bluish glow starts creeping in through the curtains. Dawn. I move carefully, every muscle stiff. I don't look at the door as I stand up. Just step into the kitchen, put the knife down, pour water into a glass. My hands shake. I sip, focusing on the coolness sliding down my throat. The mundane action steadies me. The clock on the stove reads 6:12 a.m. I survived the night. My phone buzzes on the table. I jump. It's Rachel. Rachel, are you okay? I swallow hard. My fingers hesitate over the keyboard before I type back. Me: yeah. Did you hear it too? Her reply comes instantly. Rachel: yes. Someone knocked on my door too. But I didn't look. Me, same. I don't mention David's voice. I switched to the group chat. More messages flooded in overnight. David, LMAO, nothing happened. David, I told you this was stupid. David, Ethan probably knocked on your doors as a prank. Ethan, I didn't. David's typing again. I wait, staring at the screen. David, anyway, I'm heading to work. You guys are too paranoid. I check the time. 6:30 a.m. I move toward the window, careful not to get too close. The street is still eerily empty. No early commuters. No distant sirens. Just stillness. I text David privately. Me, are you sure you're good? The dots appear, then disappear. I wait. Nothing. I try again. Me, David? He doesn't respond. A cold unease spreads through me. Maybe he's messing with me. Maybe he's just being an ass. But something about last night, it wasn't a joke. I check my door. The peephole shows an empty hallway, same as before. But something gnaws at me. I crouch down. There's a slip of paper under my door. A note. I hesitate before picking it up. The handwriting is messy, rushed. Ethan's. Don't trust voices. Even if it sounds real. If they call your name, don't answer. I stare at the words, my pulse drumming in my throat. Did Ethan slide this under my door before the knocking started? Or after? I open the group chat again. Me, Ethan. Did you leave me a note? A long pause. Then, Ethan, I left it before midnight. I exhale, relief and fear tangled together. At least that means, Ethan, wait. You just found it. My grip tightens on the note. My skin prickles. I type back quickly. Me, yeah, just now. The dots appear, then stop. Then, Ethan. Then who slid it under your door again? A full body shiver runs through me. I stare at the note. My hands feel cold. I drop it like it burned me. Someone moved it. Someone touched my door. I shove the note onto the counter and step back. I need air. I need to think. I throw on a jacket and head for the window. I'll just crack it open. Breathe. My fingers barely touch the latch before my breath catches. Across the street, someone is standing on the sidewalk, directly beneath a street lamp. I freeze. They're facing my building, still as a statue. Their head is tilted, like they're watching. A normal person would move, shift their weight, check their phone. But this figure doesn't. I step back, pressing my spine against the wall, my heart hammering. I don't know why, but I don't want to look at them anymore. I glance at my phone. My fingers shake as I type. Me, Ethan. Look outside. A long pause. Then, Ethan, what the fuck? My stomach clenches. Me, you see them too? Another pause. Ethan, yeah. I don't think they're breathing. I force myself to peek around the curtain's edge. The figure is gone. My body locks up. No footsteps. No movement. Just gone. My hands feel numb. I look at my phone again. A new message from Ethan. Ethan, check the front door camera. I hesitate. My apartment building has a security system with a front entrance feed. I open the app with a shaky thumb. The feed loads, grainy and dim in the early morning light. The front doors are closed. The sidewalk is empty. No figure. Then, a glitch. A single frame, so fast I almost miss it. A face, pressed against the camera. Two wide eyes. A mouth stretched open like it's trying to speak. The frame disappears. The feed plays like normal again. Just an empty street. My stomach turns. I swallow bile. My hands grip the counter for support. A new message from Ethan pops up. Ethan, dude, don't go outside. I don't respond. I just sit down, staring at my door, waiting for the next knock. And this time, I know it's coming. I don't leave my apartment. Not after the figure under the street lamp. Not after the face on the security feed. I barely move at all. Just sit by the window, phone in hand, trying to make sense of things. Ethan hasn't texted again. Rachel hasn't either. But David, you guys are being ridiculous. David, I'm at work. Everything is fine. David, stop scaring each other. I stare at the messages, jaw tight. I don't respond. Outside, the city is waking up. Or at least pretending to. A few cars on the road. A woman walking fast, head down, earbuds in. Everything looks normal. But it doesn't feel normal. A sinking weight presses against my chest. I switch to my missed calls. I dial David. It rings. Too long. Then, a click. But no greeting. No hello. Just breathing. I grip the phone tighter. David. Silence. Say something. A pause. Then, hey, it's me. My skin goes cold. David's voice. But wrong. Off by half a beat, like a delayed echo. I hang up. The weight in my chest gets heavier. I open the group chat. Me, David. Call me back. No response. The dots don't even appear. Then, knock. Knock. My body locks up. Not my door. Someone else's. I move slowly, quietly toward the peephole. Rachel's door. Across the hall. David is standing there. My stomach twists. He's wearing the same clothes he left in. Same jacket. Same shoes. He knocks again. Knock. Knock. Rachel doesn't answer. Hey, it's me. My breath catches. It's the same voice I heard on the phone. Rachel's peephole goes dark. She's looking. I want to scream for her to stop. David shifts his weight. Not impatient. Just waiting. Rachel's door stays closed. A long silence. Then David turns his head, slowly, toward my door. I yank away from the peephole. My pulse hammers against my ribs. A notification vibrates in my hand. Rachel, don't look outside. I squeeze my eyes shut. Footsteps. Slow. Measured. Coming toward me. A shadow slides across the crack under my door. Then, knock. Knock. I don't move. I don't breathe. Knock. Knock. Hey, it's me. A perfect replica. I stare at my phone. My fingers shake as I type. Me. That's not David. Rachel responds instantly. Rachel, I know. The knocking stops. The shadow lingers. Then finally, footsteps retreating. I count to 10, then 20, then 50. I don't check the peephole again. Another message from Rachel. Rachel, did you see his eyes? I hesitate. Me, no. Why? A long pause. Then, Rachel, they weren't there. My stomach knots. I don't text back. I don't know what to say. I sit in silence until my limbs go numb. Then, in the quiet, my phone vibrates again. A single message. David, why didn't you let me in? I turn my phone over. I don't look at it again. Because I know, midnight will come again, and David will be back. The day moves in slow motion. I barely eat, barely drink. I just sit in the quiet of my apartment, phone gripped in my hand, waiting. The group chat is silent. No new messages from Ethan. Nothing from Rachel. David's last text, why didn't you let me in? Still sits at the bottom of the screen, unanswered. I can't bring myself to type anything back. Instead, I recheck the locks. The deadbolt, the chain, the handle. I test them twice. 3 times. Then I shove my couch an inch closer to the door. Just in case. The emergency alert told us to ignore the knocking. But what happens if someone opens the door? I don't want to know. I try to sleep, but every time I close my eyes, I hear it again. Knock. Knock. And the voice. Hey, it's me. I jolt awake in the early evening, heart pounding, throat dry. I don't remember falling asleep. The apartment is dim, sunlight fading into blue shadows. My head is heavy, the weight of exhaustion, of unease. My phone lies on the floor beside me, screen up. A single unread message. Ethan, we need to talk. In person. A chill creeps up my spine. I hesitate before typing back. Me, about what? The dots appear, then stop, then appear again. Then, Ethan, meet me in the stairwell. 9 p.m., don't tell Rachel. A cold weight settles in my stomach. I check the time. 8:42 p.m. I swallow hard. My instinct says to stay inside. Lock the doors. But Ethan isn't like David. He's the cautious one. The paranoid one. If he thinks we need to talk face to face, maybe I should listen. Maybe he knows something I don't. I throw on a hoodie, pocket my phone, and slip out into the hallway. It's quiet. Too quiet. Rachel's door is shut. No light spills from the bottom. She's either asleep or hiding. I don't knock. I move quickly toward the stairwell. Each step feels like walking deeper into something I won't come back from. The stairwell door creaks when I push it open. Cool, stale air greets me. The walls are gray concrete. The stairwell is dim, lit only by a flickering overhead light. Ethan is standing on the landing, hands shoved into his jacket pockets. His face is tight, jaw clenched. For the first time since the alert, I feel something close to relief. A real person. A real voice. I step forward. Ethan. His hand shoots up. Stop. I freeze. He exhales sharply, eyes darting to the door behind me. Did you tell anyone you were coming? No. His shoulders relax slightly. Good. He gestures for me to follow. Come down a level. We can't talk here. I hesitate. Why not? Ethan's mouth flattens. Just trust me. Something about the way he says it makes my stomach turn. But I follow. We descend one flight, down to the second floor. Ethan stops at the landing, glancing over his shoulder before speaking. His voice is low. There's something wrong with David. I swallow hard. I know. He shakes his head. No, you don't. I wait. Ethan glances at the door to the hallway, then back to me. His eyes are rimmed with exhaustion. David never made it to work. I frown. What? I called his job. He never showed up. Ethan rubs his temples, voice tense. He left the building. I saw him leave. But somewhere between here and his office, he just disappeared. I stare at him. Then who knocked on Rachel's door? Ethan exhales slowly. I don't think it was him. A chill creeps up my spine. He continues, voice steady but low. I don't think anyone who knocks is real. I don't realize I'm holding my breath until my lungs start to burn. I glance back at the stairwell door, suddenly desperate to be inside my apartment again, behind a locked door. But Ethan isn't finished. There's more. He pulls his phone from his pocket, unlocks it, and hands it to me. Look at this. I take it, confused. The screen is open to his photos. The most recent image is grainy, low quality. A still frame from the security feed. A lump rises in my throat as I look closer. It's the moment from this morning. The face pressed against the front entrance camera. But now, seeing it up close, my stomach churns. The mouth is too wide. The eyes are hollow, black voids. The skin looks stretched, pulled too tightly over the bones. And the worst part, it's wearing David's jacket. I shove the phone back into Ethan's hands. My pulse is a hammer in my throat. That's not David, I whisper. Ethan nods grimly. I know. A long, suffocating silence stretches between us. Then somewhere above, knock, knock. The sound is soft, distant, but my whole body goes rigid. Ethan meets my eyes. We need to go back to our apartments. Now. We move fast. Up the stairs. Through the door. I don't check Rachel's apartment. Don't knock. Don't pause. I shut the door behind me and lock it. Deadbolt. Chain. Everything. I press my back against the wood, my breath shuddering out of me. My phone vibrates in my pocket. I pull it out with shaking hands. A single new message. David, I saw you in the stairwell. Why didn't you say hi? A sharp, icy terror cuts through me, because I know with complete certainty, David wasn't in that stairwell. I don't respond. I just turn my phone over, screen down, and slide to the floor. Outside, in the dark hallway. Knock. Knock. Hey, it's me. I squeeze my eyes shut and wait for morning. I don't sleep. I barely move, back pressed against the door, knees drawn to my chest. I listen. The knock stopped an hour ago, but the silence is worse. My phone lies face down on the floor beside me, screen dark. I don't check it. I don't want to see if David sent another message. The air in my apartment feels different now. Tainted. Like something is waiting. At some point, exhaustion takes over. My eyes grow heavy. My breathing slows. My head tilts forward. Buzz. My whole body jerks awake. My phone vibrates again, rattling against the wood. I grab it fast, heart in my throat. A call. David. I nearly drop the phone. It rings. And rings. Then, voicemail. I hover over the screen, breath shuddering. The notification blinks at me. One new voice message. My thumb trembles over the play button. I shouldn't listen. I know I shouldn't. But I do. A soft click. Silence. Then, hey, it's me. My stomach knots. Why aren't you answering? The voice is calm. Too calm. Like he already knows why. A long pause. Then, you shouldn't have talked to Ethan. The breath in my lungs freezes. Another pause. You should have opened the door when I knocked. My fingers tighten around the phone. I can hear you breathing. I end the call. The apartment is suddenly too small. The air too thick, pressing in on me. I force myself to stand, legs stiff from hours on the floor. I move away from the door, away from the thing outside. I need to hear another voice. A real one. I text Ethan. Me. I just got a voicemail from David. The response is instant. Ethan, don't listen to it. I swallow hard. Too late. Me. It mentioned you. A long pause. Then, Ethan, I know. My stomach twists. Me. What do you mean? Ethan, we need to talk. But not here. Something about the words makes my skin crawl. Then, before I can respond, "Ethan, don't trust your phone." I stare at the screen, a cold weight in my chest. "Don't trust my phone?" I type back fast. "Me, Ethan, what the hell is happening?" The dots appear, then stop. Then, "Ethan, meet me in the parking garage." Midnight. A lump rises in my throat. Midnight. The exact time the emergency alert warned us about. I hesitate. My fingers hover over the keyboard. But then, another message. "Ethan, please. It's important." I exhale slowly. Then I make the worst decision of my life. I grab my jacket, and I leave. The hallway is eerily quiet. Rachel's door is closed. No light. No sound. I don't knock. I don't trust what might answer. I move quickly toward the stairwell. Every step feels heavier than the last. The air is wrong. Thicker. I reach the stairwell door and hesitate. A single thought gnaws at the back of my mind. What if I'm not meeting Ethan? I shake the thought away. There's no time for paranoia. I push the door open. The stairwell is empty. A dim, flickering light buzzes above. The air is colder here, carrying the faint smell of dust and concrete. I start down. 1 flight. 2. My footsteps echo uneven. The silence presses against my ears. Then, halfway between the second and first floor, a sound. A soft, wet drip. I freeze. The noise is faint. Somewhere below me. Drip. Drip. I swallow hard. Move slower. 1 step at a time. The air grows colder. My breath comes out in shallow exhales. The sound grows louder. Closer. Then I see it. A dark stain on the concrete landing below. Thick. Red. Drip. It pools at the base of the stairwell door, seeping from underneath. My hands go numb. I should run. I should leave. But my body moves on its own. I step closer. The smell hits me first. Copper. Sharp. I reach the bottom step. My hand moves toward the door. Shaking fingers graze cold metal. I push it open. The parking garage is empty. Dim lights cast long shadows across cracked pavement. The only sound is my own breathing. Then, movement. I whip toward it. A figure stands near the concrete pillars. Tall. Motionless. For a split second, my chest loosens. Ethan. Then I see the way he's standing. Too stiff. Too still. Like he's waiting for me to speak first. A shiver crawls up my spine. I take a step closer. "Ethan?" The figure tilts its head. My blood runs cold. A voice, flat, empty, echoes through the garage. "Hey, it's me." My stomach drops. I take a step back. Then another. The thing doesn't move. It just watches. Then slowly it raises a hand and points at something behind me. I don't want to turn, but I do. Across the garage, near the far wall, a dark shape, slumped, motionless. A jacket I recognize. Ethan, face down, blood pooling beneath him. My breath catches. My vision tunnels. I whip back toward the figure, but it's gone. I spin in place, heart hammering, pulse roaring in my ears. A sharp, wet breath sounds from somewhere in the dark. Then, knock, knock. The sound doesn't come from a door. It comes from inside the garage. I don't wait. I run. I don't look back. The moment my feet move, my brain shuts down everything except one command: run. I sprint up the stairwell, taking the steps 2 at a time, barely breathing. My pulse is a hammer in my skull. Ethan is dead. Ethan is dead. And something else is wearing his voice. I reach my floor and throw myself through the door, slamming it behind me. The sound echoes down the empty hall. My hands shake as I fumble with my keys, shoving them into the lock. My body is moving too fast, my brain too slow. My phone. I need to call someone. Rachel. The police. Anyone. I grab it from my pocket, thumb pressing into the screen. Then I freeze. The screen is already on. A text thread is open. But not mine. It's Ethan's messages. And there's a new one. Sent just now. "Ethan, why did you run?" The phone nearly slips from my hands. I stare at the message, blood roaring in my ears. It's not him. It's not him. Another message appears. "Ethan, come back. We need to talk." A new kind of terror unfurls in my gut. It knows I was there. It saw me. A final message pops up. "Ethan, I can still see you." I snap my head up, eyes darting down the hallway. Empty. But it doesn't feel empty. I jam my key into the lock, twist hard, shove inside. The door slams shut behind me, my breath coming fast, ragged. I lock the deadbolt. The chain. Everything. I back away from the door. The silence of the apartment is suffocating. I can still see you. I force myself to move. I yank the blinds shut. I check the vents, the windows, every crack and crevice. I shove furniture against the door. It's still not enough. My phone vibrates again. I don't look at it. I can't. I curl into myself, hands pressed against my temples, trying to block everything out. The texts. The knocking. Ethan's body on the garage floor. Somewhere in the dark, my phone buzzes again. I close my eyes and wait for morning. I wake up to the sound of knocking. Soft. Rhythmic. Knock. Knock. My whole body locks up. For a moment, I can't move. Can't breathe. Then I hear it. A voice. Hey, it's me. A fresh wave of nausea rolls through me. It sounds like Ethan. But I saw Ethan. I saw what was left of him. The knocking comes again. Closer. No. Not the door. The window. My stomach drops. I force myself to move, crawling across the floor, pressing my back against the wall opposite the window. I don't look. I won't look. But I hear it. A slow, deliberate tap, tap, tap against the glass. Then the voice again. Hey, it's me. It's not possible. I live on the 4th floor. I squeeze my eyes shut, breathing shallowly through my nose. I wait. Minutes stretch into hours. Then finally, the tapping stops. I don't move. Not until the sky turns gray with morning. Then I risk a glance. The window is empty, but there's something smeared on the glass. A handprint. Too large. Too long. And beneath it, written in something dark and dripping. Why did you run? The world outside is wrong. The city keeps moving, but it feels off. There are people walking, cars driving, lights flickering in apartment windows. But when I stare too long, I notice the details that don't fit. A woman at the bus stop, standing completely still, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. A man walking down the sidewalk, his movements too stiff, too precise. The coffee shop across the street is open. The barista behind the counter moves normally, makes drinks, chats with customers. But he never blinks. I don't leave my apartment. I barely check my phone. But the messages don't stop. Ethan, come outside. Ethan, I'm sorry if I scared you. Ethan, let me in. And the worst one. Ethan, Rachel let me in. I stop breathing. No, she wouldn't. I pull up her contact. My hands shake as I type. Me, Rachel. Are you okay? No response. I try again. Me, please answer me. The dots appear, then disappear. A long silence. Then, Rachel, hey, it's me. My chest tightens. I stare at the message, pulse hammering against my ribs. Then another text. Rachel, come over. No. I stand on shaking legs, moving toward the peephole. Rachel's door is cracked open. I never saw her open it. A figure stands just inside. Tall, motionless. The dim light from her apartment stretches long shadows across the floor. My phone buzzes again. I force my gaze down. A new message. Rachel, I know you're watching. A cold, sharp terror grips my spine. I step away from the door, heart in my throat. Rachel's door creaks open wider. Something moves inside. Slow, deliberate, like it's waiting for me to come closer. My phone vibrates in my hand. I don't look. I retreat, step by step, back into my apartment, back behind a locked door, and then in the hallway, barely a whisper. Hey, it's me. I press my hands against my ears. But it's not enough. The knocking comes anyway. Knock, knock. And I know, midnight will come again, and it won't stop until I let it in. The knocking doesn't stop. It's softer now, less urgent, patient, like it knows I'll break eventually. I sit on the floor, knees drawn to my chest, arms wrapped around myself. My ears ring with silence between the knocks. Knock, knock. Always two. Never more, never less. I squeeze my eyes shut. Rachel let it in. Ethan is dead. David, I don't even know if David was real to begin with. I check my phone again. My fingers tremble as I scroll through the messages. Ethan's last text stares back at me. Come outside. Rachel sits just beneath it. I know you're watching. I hover over the thread, pulse hammering. I type. Slowly. Carefully. Me. Where are you? A long pause. Then. Rachel, here. My stomach knots. Me. Where is here? No response. I swallow the lump in my throat, move toward the peephole. Rachel's door is open wider now. The lights inside flicker. A shadow moves across the floor, slow and deliberate. I can't see who or what. The hallway suddenly feels too long, like space is stretching, warping. I back away from the door, every muscle locking up. Another text. Rachel, I miss you. A cold shiver crawls down my spine. Then another message. Rachel, come over. I can't breathe. Something moves behind her door. The light shifts. And I swear, asterisk asterisk for half a second. Asterisk asterisk, I see a hand curl around the edge of the doorframe. Long wrong. Not human. The knocks come again. Faster this time. Urgent. And I realize, they aren't coming from the front door anymore. My stomach drops. I turn my head. The knocks are coming from inside the apartment. The bathroom door. Knock. Knock. A cold weight settles in my gut. I never closed that door. I move slowly, silently, pressing my back against the far wall. My fingers dig into my palms. The door is shut now. I can see the handle. It twitches just slightly. Something is in there. A soft, wet breath echoes through the crack beneath the door. I don't move. I don't blink. Then, a whisper. Hey, it's me. My breath stutters. The voice is wrong. It sounds like Rachel, but not. Off somehow, like a memory being played back on a broken tape. Another knock. I don't move. I can't. Then, the bathroom door creaks. Slowly. Not opening. Just moving. Just teasing. My pulse hammers in my skull. I squeeze my eyes shut. Count my breaths. 1, 2, 3. I open them again. The door is wide open. The bathroom is empty. But the mirror isn't right. The reflection is delayed. I take a step forward. My reflection hesitates, then follows. I raise my hand. It lags behind. My stomach twists. Then, it smiles. I don't. I stumble back, breath caught in my throat. The smile on my reflection widens. Then, soft and slow. Hey, it's me. The lights flicker. And my reflection steps forward, out of the mirror. I don't think. I don't breathe. I just run. I don't remember getting out of the apartment. 1 second, I'm there. The next, I'm in the stairwell, taking the steps 3 at a time, nearly tripping over my own feet. The air down here is colder. Wet. The walls are damp. The lights above flicker in a slow, breathing rhythm. I reach the lobby, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The front doors are open. That shouldn't be possible. The night outside looks wrong. The streetlights don't reach as far as they should. The shadows stretch too long, too deep. Something moves in them. Tall, still figures standing just beyond the edge of the light. Watching. Waiting. I don't step outside. I don't move at all. Then, a sound. A soft, rhythmic tap, tap, tap against the lobby window. My stomach knots. I turn my head. Rachel is standing outside. Except, it's not Rachel. Her head tilts at an impossible angle. Her eyes are too wide, too full of something hollow. Her lips move, but the sound doesn't match. Hey, it's me. I take a step back. She follows, her movements lagging, like a marionette catching up to its strings. Then, from behind me, a whisper. Why did you run? Too close. I spin around. The lobby is full of them, standing in the shadows. Too still, too silent. Some of them I recognize. David, Ethan, Rachel, and others, strangers. All of them with wide, empty eyes. All of them whispering the same thing. Hey, it's me. The air collapses. A pressure in my skull. A weight in my chest. The emergency alert said to ignore the knocking. But no one ever said what happens if you do. The front doors creak open wider. The things outside start to move. The ones in the lobby step forward. Slow. Inevitable. I take a breath. A deep, shaking inhale. And then, I run. Not outside. Not toward the street. But back up the stairs. Because if they want me, they're gonna have to take me from behind a locked door. I don't stop running. The stairwell stretches ahead, the sound of my own footsteps echoing back at me in frantic, uneven beats. I don't look back. If I look back, I'll see them. If I see them, I'll know. And if I know, it's already too late. I slam through the door to my floor, nearly tripping as I stumble into the hallway. My breath is ragged, my pulse hammering in my skull. The hallway is empty. For now. Rachel's door is still open, gaping like a wound. The light inside flickers, stretching long, shifting shadows onto the carpet. I don't get close. I don't even breathe in its direction. I just move. I reach my apartment, fumbling with my keys. My hands won't stay still. The air feels thick, like it's pressing in, pushing me down. The key finally slides into the lock. I twist, shove the door open. I step inside and slam it shut behind me. Locks, chains, deadbolt. My body moves on autopilot, sealing myself in. Only when it's done do I allow myself to breathe. The apartment is silent. It doesn't feel safe. Not anymore. I stagger back against the wall, hands shaking. Everything feels off, warped. The emergency alert still burns in my mind. Ignore anyone knocking after midnight. But that's the thing, isn't it? I did ignore them, and they didn't stop. They don't need permission to come in. Not anymore. My phone buzzes. I stare at it for a long time before picking it up. A new message. From Ethan. Ethan, you can't stay in there forever. I feel sick. Another message pops up. Ethan, let's talk. And then, a third. Ethan, Rachel is with me. We just want to see you. I squeeze the phone so hard my knuckles turn white. I don't respond. I turn off the screen. But the second I do, knock, knock. My breath catches. I force myself to stay still. Knock, knock. It's not coming from the front door. It's the bathroom again. I don't move. I don't blink. Something shifts in my periphery. The bathroom door is closed. No, I left it open. I know I left it open. Knock, knock. Too soft, too patient. Then, a whisper. Hey, it's me. The air collapses. I push away from the wall, shaking, moving as fast as I can. I grab the nearest chair, drag it across the floor, shove it against the door handle. Then I retreat, back to the farthest corner of the apartment, back into the silence. The knocking stops. The whispering does not. I don't know how much time passes. Hours, maybe. The whispers fade. The knocking slows. The phone goes silent. I almost start to believe it's over. But I know better. Midnight will come again. And when it does, there won't be any more doors left to close. I sit in the dark, phone clenched in my hands, staring at the last text on my screen. From Ethan. Just one word. Soon. The city outside is wrong. I stand at the window watching. The streets move like a film on repeat. The same cars. The same pedestrians. The same lights flickering on and off in an endless, meaningless cycle. The world isn't real anymore. I don't know if it ever was. A woman on the sidewalk below stops mid-step. Her head tilts too far. She looks up, directly at me. My stomach clenches. She smiles. Too wide. Too long. Then she raises her hand and knocks against thin air. Knock. Knock. I jerk away from the window, pulse pounding in my throat. I don't check if she's still there. I already know the answer. The whispers return just before midnight. Soft. Constant. They seep through the walls, the vents, the floors. There is no direction. No source. Just voices. Hundreds of them. Hey, it's me. Hey, it's me. Hey, it's me. I press my hands against my ears. It doesn't help. The knocking follows. From the front door. The bathroom. The window. All at once. Knock. Knock. I squeeze my eyes shut. This isn't real. It can't be real. Something moves in the dark. I feel it. I don't want to open my eyes. But I do. And someone is standing in my apartment. I don't know how they got in. I don't want to know. They are tall. Too tall. Their face, it shifts. I see Ethan. I see Rachel. I see David. And then, I see myself. A perfect mirror. It tilts its head. It smiles. Then, in my own voice. Hey, it's me. The world splits. I don't move. I don't scream. Because I finally understand. This was never about letting them in. It was about making me leave. And I did. The moment I ran. The moment I opened the door. They aren't knocking anymore. They don't need to. Because now, I am them. And they are me. And soon, there will be nothing left of me at all. I don't know how long I've been standing here. My reflection watches me. No, not my reflection. It stands where I should be. Where's my face? My clothes. But it isn't me. It tilts its head. Smiles. The apartment is silent now. No whispers. No knocks. Just us. I force myself to breathe. My chest is tight, my limbs heavy. I should run. But where? There are no doors left to lock. No safe places left to hide. It's already inside. I take a step back. It takes a step forward. My own face, staring back at me. Something behind the eyes isn't right. Too deep. Too empty. Too knowing. Hey, it's me. My stomach clenches. The voice is mine. But it isn't. It sounds like an echo, stretched and warped. A memory worn thin from too much repetition. I shake my head. This isn't real. I close my eyes. I count my breaths. 1, 2, 3. When I open them again, it's closer. I don't remember it moving. I don't remember blinking. You should stop fighting, it says. It sounds tired, almost bored, like it's been waiting for me to accept something obvious, something inevitable. It's easier that way. My throat is dry. I swallow hard, trying to force out words. Nothing comes. It watches me. Then slowly, deliberately, it lifts its hand and knocks against the air. Knock. Knock. A sharp pressure builds behind my eyes. My skull feels too full. I clutch my head, nails digging into my scalp. The knocks repeat again and again inside my mind. Not from a door, not from a wall, from inside me. Something wants in, or maybe something wants out. The thing with my face watches. It doesn't move. It doesn't speak. It just waits. For me to break. For me to open the door. The apartment around me warps. The walls ripple like water, edges softening, distorting. The furniture shifts, stretches. The floor tilts under my feet. I reach out to steady myself, but my fingers pass through the wall like mist. My breath stutters. I turn back to the thing that looks like me. It smiles. You see it now. I don't answer. Because I do. I see it. The apartment isn't real anymore. Or maybe it never was. I close my eyes again. I don't want to look. But looking doesn't matter. I can feel the walls falling away. I can hear the door opening, even though I never moved. And when I open my eyes again, I'm not in my apartment anymore. The space around me is wrong. Not dark. Not light. Just empty. Endless. I turn in slow circles. The floor isn't solid. The air is too thick. I try to step forward, but my body won't listen. Or maybe I don't have a body anymore. A voice hums from the void. You're almost there. It's mine. But it isn't. It's everything. I turn again, but there is nothing to turn to. I am alone. And I am not alone. Shapes shift in the periphery. Figures stand in the not light, waiting at the not edges. Familiar shapes. Rachel. Ethan. David. More. So many more. They don't move. They don't need to. Because they're already here. Already part of this. Already part of me. I try to breathe, but there is no breath left to take. No air. No lungs. No self. Only this. A final knock echoes through the void. 1, 2. The last door opens. And I step through. I don't remember what came before. Not anymore. Memories scatter like dust, too distant to grasp. I don't know where I am, or what I am. Only that I am here. That I have always been here. That I will always be here. Waiting. Watching. Knocking. Somewhere far away. A door creaks open. A figure stands on the other side, staring back at me through the thinning veil. Their face is so familiar. I smile. I lift my hand. And I knock. 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 Hey, it's me. Knock. Knock. I watch the figure on the other side of the thinning veil. Their face is familiar. Too familiar. Not because I know them, but because I was them. Once. A long time ago. Or maybe just yesterday. Or maybe time doesn't exist at all. The figure hesitates. They can feel it, just like I did. The warping of space. The unraveling of reality. They are standing at the threshold, staring into the abyss. Just like I was. And I know exactly what comes next. They will run. They will lock their doors. They will cover their ears, try to drown out the knocking, try to ignore what is already inside. And it won't matter. Because there is no escape. There never was. The air in this place is dense. Not like air at all. More like a thick, unseen current, pulling in all directions at once. There is no up. No down. Only motion. Only them. Shapes drift through the void, shifting at the edges of my vision. I recognize them, even if I shouldn't. Rachel. Ethan. David. But their names don't matter anymore. They don't have names here. Not human names. Not human anything. They are part of the same current, the same presence. A sea of whispers, stretching endlessly in all directions. Not individual voices. Just one. One singular, overwhelming existence. And I am part of it now. I don't know when I stopped thinking like myself. like I had a self at all. Maybe that's the final step. Not fear, not pain, not even acceptance, just understanding. The thing that wore my face was never a monster. It wasn't some unknowable entity clawing its way into my world. It was me, or rather, the version of me that already knew the truth, the one that was always waiting on the other side. And now it is my turn. The figure in front of me trembles. They don't understand yet, but they will. They always do. They will hear the knocks. They will hear the whispers. And at first, they will be afraid. They will barricade their doors. They will tape their vents. They will try to pretend that the walls are still there, that reality is still intact, that they can keep it out. But there is nothing outside. Only this. Only us. And once they know that, they will step through, just like I did, and the cycle will begin again. I raise my hand and knock, knock, knock. Hey, it's me. The figure shudders. Their eyes widen. They take a step back. I don't move. I don't have to. The walls are already thinning. The space between worlds is already collapsing. They will come closer. I can feel it. It's only a matter of time. And time is meaningless now. The whispers surge, washing over me in waves. Soft at first, then stronger, louder. Not in my ears, in my mind. They are speaking, not with words, not with voices, with knowing. And I understand. I understand everything. The knocking isn't an invitation. It isn't a warning. It is a signal, a final severance, a reminder that there is no other side, no barrier, no distinction between what is real and what is not. Just this, just us, waiting, watching, knocking. And when they finally answer, they will know it too. The figure disappears, not all at once. First, the world behind them fades. Then their features blur, shifting like melting wax. They are slipping, sinking, being pulled through. Their breath hitches. Their mouth opens like they want to scream. But they don't, because deep down they recognize me. And I recognize them. They are afraid now. But soon they won't be. Soon they will be here. And they will be me. The last door vanishes. The cycle is complete. For now. Until the next knock. Until the next voice. Until the next self. Because there is no end to this. There never was. There never will be. I close my eyes. I let go. I become. And somewhere, in some distant corner of reality, a door creaks open. A hand reaches out. And it knocks. Knock. Knock. Hey, it's me.